Hello everyone. Today we are going to demonstrate how to upload multiple zones to your Geotab system with minimal effort. Let's say you want all of your customer locations on the map. It can be as simple as exporting their names and addresses from your accounting software and importing them to the Geotab system. 1,000 or more zones can be uploaded in a matter of minutes. So let's get started. To accomplish your bulk zone import, you will first need to prepare a spreadsheet of the zones you want to import. There are 3 formats that can be used. Column A will always be the name you want to assign to the zone. For simple circular or square zones, you can use the central point, latitude, longitude, or the street address. When using street addresses, be sure to remove suite numbers as they are not included in the geocoding data and will cause errors in your import. Also, the complete address, comma separated, needs to be in column B. If you are modifying a spreadsheet that has separate columns for street address, city, state, and zip code, such as an export from your accounting platform, do a Google search for concatenate. It is a function in Excel for combining multiple columns into a single column quickly and easily. You can use the third format option if you have GIS data that includes the perimeter points of a polygon. As an example, if you have zones already created in another software you use, you may be able to export the zone perimeter points, then upload that same information to Geotab. To view the formats for preparing your spreadsheet, type zone in the menu search window and select Import Zones. All 3 formats will be displayed. The reference and comments columns are optional, but can be used in a variety of ways. For example, I can add a zone type in the reference column to more easily batch edit my imported zones later and assign a zone type. If I add a phone number, primary contact name, or other valuable information in the comments column, that information will be displayed on the map when I hover over the zone on the map. When importing circular or square zones, the size of the zone in yards can also be added. The default zone size is 250 yards, but that is often too large. I have found 70 yards is a good default size for most retail business locations. In any case, individual zones can be manually edited once imported to make them more precise. The spreadsheet I have prepared is for 7-Eleven stores near Ocala, Florida. I have set up the spreadsheet for square zones 70 yards wide and added the phone number in the comments column. Since they are all named 7-Eleven followed by a location description, I did not bother with adding that in the reference column. I will later be able to filter them using the name. Notice on line 15 of the spreadsheet, I have an incomplete entry. I have entered a zone size, but no name or address for that zone. In a few moments, you will see how the system alerts you to rows that cannot be imported due to incorrect or missing data in your spreadsheet. To begin the import, simply drag and drop or browse for the file you want to import. The display indicates that 13 zones were successfully imported, while 1 zone failed to import. I am deselecting the invalid zone. When I click the upload icon for my valid zones, they will be imported into the database. Next, I want to review the invalid zone to see if I can correct it. A spreadsheet opens that displays the error. In this case, there was no data to import, so I can disregard it. If there had been an error, I can save the file and make the corrections needed, then do another quick import. The zones are now imported, but we may want to assign them to groups, add zone types, or customize them in some way. They can be customized individually, or we can batch edit the zones if we want to make the same customizations to multiple zones. Back to the menu, I type zone into the search window again. This time I select zone types. The zone types in the system are now displayed, and I want to add a new zone type entry for my 7-Eleven zones. Click Add Zone Type, type in the name for the new zone type, and save to populate it to the zone types list. I'm going to the search window and typing zone now, this time selecting zones. A full list of zones in this database is displayed, and I will use the filter to find the 7-Eleven zones I just imported for a batch edit. If I had not named them all 7-Eleven and instead used the reference column to enter the zone type, I would have used the Select Individual Zone button in the upper right-hand corner to manually select the zones I want to edit. Now, only the 13 7-Eleven zones I just imported are displayed, so I will select All in Filter, then edit the selected zones. I can make my final choices on how these zones are displayed, including group assignments, visibility on the map, zone type assignment, whether or not to indicate stops within the zones on reports, color, and you have the entire rainbow available in the color selector, and transparency level. More transparency allows you to see map information behind the zone, while solid colors, though easier to see on the map, will hide the map data behind them. I can also set an expiration date for the zone if I want to. Never is selected by default, but if this was just a 6-month job, I have the option to set an expiration date in advance. Click the Save button to save your changes. Finally, click Accept or Undo if you've changed your mind about something. I am clicking Accept. Now all of the selected zones have been updated. Let's go take a look on the map. By typing 7-Eleven in the filter, the list is limited to only the 7-Eleven zones. I will choose one at random, and the system takes me to that zone on the map. Notice when I hover over the zone, the phone number that I listed in the comments column is displayed along with the zone name, zone type, and group assignment. Now that the zones have been imported, we can use them for far more than just visual information on the map. You can also create rules that include specific zones or zone types, and reports that highlight activity in the zones. Type Rules in the menu search and select Rules to see all rules, or add Rule to go straight to creating a new rule. Name your new rule, then enter the parameters on the Conditions tab. When you select Zone or Zone Type, the lists of zones and types populate for you to select from. Then select the event of interest within the zone. You can use multiple parameters in your rule like driving faster than X within the zone, or stopping longer than X at the zone. In this case, I've created a rule for stopping longer than 5 minutes inside any of my 7-Eleven zones. A standard exceptions report filtered for just that rule will display a list of all events for the time period selected. Don't forget to click Save to save your rule. That wraps up how to import zones, batch edit them, and use them in rule creation. You can always reach out to us for help with your import questions or creating a rule to isolate the specific information you want to uncover. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video if you found it helpful.